Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to...
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Minnesota Vikings. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. Even with the nice move, can't go very far. Stop short of the 30. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets.
And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Third and long for Winston. And Winston lost the football. And this belongs to the Vikings. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, two hands. Get two hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down, so let's see what this is about.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back together and find their way back to the end zone?
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there. A 12-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Carlson now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
They're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first two plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a third and long at the outset of this drive. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Room here to run. And he'll be out right at the 35.
Holding. Offense.
So a decent gain, but
Still
all for
second
naught
down.
on the penalty.
That's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
A spin. Oh, another great move. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. It's a big one there for the Vikings. And even 50 yards on the ground. For a lot of people, the MVP award means a quarterback award usually. But over 100 yards again last week. They're going to have to look his way more than once when giving out this award this season, I think.
Yeah, it's not just the consistency. It's been some plays that we've seen where we talk about it for weeks thereafter. That's what we're getting out of him. Over 100 yards last week. Expects to continue that in this game, too.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
This time, Jackson will throw it. His throw caught right around the 6. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. In for the score. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead.
When we draw up defenses on the board, we do account for every receiver. But on that particular play, somehow he was wide open, became an easy touchdown pass.
Carlson now to add the extra point. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it's polished off by a Viking score. Carlson now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And out now come the Eagles. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. They'll run it now out of the gun. And some space here. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to, but they didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, it created a big run. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Second down, Winston. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down.
That was their third sack of the ball game. Second in the league in sacks coming into this one. They're planning on making it a race to the top, aren't they?
Absolutely. They're looking up at that top spot, but they might be looking down at the second spot pretty soon. And now they're looking for 19 yards here on third down following 2 negative plays. Working out of the gun, Winston. Got his man complete over the middle. It's called. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's fourth down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he will lose yardage here back to his own 6. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
If you're the coaching staff upstairs, you might want to file that play away. Did you see how fast the safety closed on that one? Coming up in run support, made a big-time tackle. Might want to try and check into a pass next time.
Yeah, got him for a loss. Really, really great play defensively. That one good for 33 and a first. Well, this is the reigning NFC Offensive Player of the Week. Runs like that might get him another award.
Yeah, Thunderbolt right out of the gate, huh? How about that, hitting the defense hard early? And, of course, carrying the momentum from last week into this week's game.
And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Wow, that play got shut down in a hurry.
As soon as the snap came, you could see defensively they were just closing in. That was going nowhere.
Yeah, you count on your offensive line to give you a little bit of space, a little bit of time so you can make a move. There was none there for him.
To throw is Jackson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he is taken down deep in Philadelphia territory. A big play there for Minnesota. 54 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Here's Jackson. Being chased out left. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. Lamar Jackson, his second TD of the game and 16th on the season. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead.
That was not a designed run. It was supposed to be a pass, but it turned into an exceptional run. What a scramble for a touchdown.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes the score 21-0. Carlson now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
2 minutes remain here in the first half. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. And give them a gain of 37.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. The dump-off gets him only 1, and now you're looking at a third down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a Turkey Bowl where you have the center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Walker. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half.
Ready. Blue ready.
They'll throw again. Winston. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown, as his guys are in for 6. And the Eagles make some inroads here on that deficit. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. And a lot of football, full half to be played. Finds an opening past the 40. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. And with that carry, he's already over 100 yards here in the first half.
And, partner, you know exactly what he's saying to his teammates right now, right? Especially to the play caller.
Give me the ball.
Again, and again, and again. It's not that heavy, sir. I'll take it.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And a lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Carlson now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned they're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Winston now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down. From the shotgun, it's Winston. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. They go play action. Winston. And that is intercepted. Or was it? Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently. So that's just going to be an incompletion. The Eagles on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 16. From the gun, Winston. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Walker. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. The Eagles send out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Final play of the half here. It's Jackson. He's going to fire one deep and got his man complete. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done? Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strike ability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL here in a busy Week 14. We'll begin up at legendary Lambeau Field in Green Bay. And
you want the 3rd quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that #1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it, his team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that #1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through, and I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. The teams that play and play to win each and every game, they're the ones to deal with in the playoffs.
Jackson. Throw taken in by Taylor, left side. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. His 17th touchdown now on the season. And this Viking offense is running away with this one. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, and I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
Now a play fake here on first down. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
A big seam, and he might go all the way. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A big play there. 76 yards. And the Eagles are able to cash it in for 6. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Now the try here for the point after. Extra point splits the uprights, and that will get them one closer. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And the Vikings now heading on to the field. And last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the roads
true.
will be fairly clear
that is
by the
one
time
positive.
we have to leave the booth.
Let's go! White, 90! White, 90!
Space to maneuver at the 40 as he'll get this one up to the 44-yard line. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
And this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
No. Check. Patriot! Patriot! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone!
Now this time he'll look to throw. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I guess they figure with a guy who is that hot downfield, who knows how to get the ball into the end zone, you throw it up and give him every opportunity, even though that one fell incomplete.
Yeah, he's already been in the end zone multiple times, trying to target him again deep there, but unsuccessful. Now Jackson, open man is Taylor, he's got it. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 50 catches for him now on the year. He's got a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Gone!
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. Over the middle, that's caught by Taylor. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Jackson now. Pass incomplete. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
On 3rd down, Jackson. He's got the first down inside the 10. And finally down at the 9-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Again, Jackson. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. He's going to get it running right. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there. A 9-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings offense continues to pour it on. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now. No question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. After the long touchdown drive we just saw, you wonder if maybe that's taken a little of the wind out of this offense's sails because they had it going pretty good last time, too.
Had to sit over there for a little while, didn't they? You know, they were eager, amped up to get back on the field after just scoring, hoping to get the ball back quickly. That didn't happen, so I'd say come out, just kind of get started again. You know, it doesn't have to be anything dramatic. Just get moving, get loose again, and see if they can get it downfield. Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here, and what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
Try the ground game here with the running back. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
Jameis to throw it. Throwing for his running back, and he's got it complete. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it at him.
And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a first down.
Foul. Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that will look pretty easy. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Winston now to throw on first down. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Green. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. A first down throw for Winston. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick six makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. I might get a pick or two.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead will swell by one more. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Eagles offense back out onto the field. And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling him almost on the
blitz coming, and down he goes.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. To throw is Winston. And some room to roam now. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Third down, passing down. They throw the extra defensive back in there for a nickel package, and it worked out.
And it's not anything that you would think is just great strategy. It's just that when you have 5 defensive backs on the field and an obvious passing down, it's a lot tougher to complete a pass. And on that play, they completed it just to the wrong team, and it cost them 6 points.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. And fresh off the pick six, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount, Here's his opportunity.
It all comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? Yeah.
Go get some. Ready? Blue lady.
Now Jameis on second down. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Walker. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part.
And Winston lost the football. And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely.
Gone!
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
A lot of people call the toss a probing play, to see what they can get against the defense, to see how they adjust and react. Their probing's working pretty well. That was a very nice run.
And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
And they're going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. Carlson now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Jameis now on first down. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Throwing, Winston. Now they go screen. It's complete. Give him 6 on the screen, but now it's 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
3rd and long for Winston. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And down he'll go at the 25. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
he wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get into that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. Now, no reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth. Fourth down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays that have been successful throughout the game that have worked in the distance you need. And that's exactly what they got done.
Over the middle, complete. That's Armstrong. Winston in the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive.
Ready? Blue ready.
Jameis again. And, Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at about the 31. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December. Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake, after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because...
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Brandon, that's just football 101. If you're out of the pocket, you've got to get rid of the football in this situation. You cannot take a sack in a 2-minute drill.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Throwing is Jackson. And the pressure gets to him again.
And it has been a good game for them. They haven't been pressured very much today. But on back-to-back sacks, maybe the defense is starting to figure something out.
There's Jackson on 3rd and long. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Vikings, the streak lives as they move to 13-0 now on the year. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Chicago Bears next week. Meanwhile, for Philadelphia, it's a potentially fatal blow to their playoff chances as they drop to 6-7 on the year. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Washington.